let's talk about today's subject. So someone brought this up to me today earlier on. Actually, they were talking about the Bitcoin hash ribbons. We've got the hash ribbons on the bottom, you've got the stochastic RSI and RSI in the middle. So I just want to quickly talk a little bit about this basically. So what's going on? So you see how we had a little bit of a dip. You can see that big long red candle, this one here. You can see how we had a massive dip, absolutely fine, and then since then we've been going back up again in this particular direction. And you can see that this particular candle here is a very strong candle. Lovely to see. I'm not complaining when I see stuff like this, right? However, we did get a very strong signal from the hash ribbons. Now it's hash ribbon, let's talk about this, right? So it's a very underrated indicator. However, it's very crucial. It's not the most useful. You can say, like, it's not used for every single day, so it's not a daily thing, right? I mean, you can look at it once in a while, absolutely fine, but it's not something that I would use every single day, because end of the day, it's on a shorter time frame, and this is where the problem is, right? So this particular hash ribbons only works on a daily chart. So it's brilliant on a daily chart. You get the signal, and we got a very strong signal. You can see here we've got the buy signal finally come into us after a very, very, very long time. So you can see the last time it happened was somewhere down here, where it was around 2021, right? So we've got this the Bitcoin hash ribbon, basically it's come in and it's giving us another signal now. Just right now here, basically we've got the signal on the 18th of August. So yeah, we've got the signal, great. So it doesn't give you a signal every single time. It's one of those ones that, we had our capitulation, we had so let's put some things into context, right? So the hash ribbon itself, it actually works with what do you call this, the miners, right? So Bitcoin miners buying and selling, or Bitcoin miners actually switching off their machines. So when Bitcoin miners started to switch off their machines around here, when it was very expensive for them to operate, more and more machines were switched off until this particular zone, and then they decided to switch them back on slowly. So when we see machines being switched on, means Bitcoin mining is becoming more profitable. So this is the signal that we got from this, and it's a very, very good signal. Obviously it's a strong signal. Again, the reason I'm concerned, or I don't take much notice of it, however I do account for it, I do take a lot of notice by it, but what I'm trying to say is I don't use it on a daily, right? That's what I mean when I say I don't take much notice, right? So on these daily, you can see how the stochastic RSI, how the RSI, they play up and down. So these are daily, right? That means on a day we can be down, and on a day we can be up, absolutely fine. Signals are very strong. It's showing us that it wants to push up again now. This is absolutely great for us. If it's showing us an indication that it wants to go up, and it collaborates with the hash ribbons as well, that's good confluence for us to say, yes, look, there's a signal here, we got it. But ultimately, remember, the signal that we got is for the hash ribbon, and it's definitely giving us the buy signal after a very, very long time. So that is a super, super solid signal to get in. Again, that thing we've been talking about, that, guys, it's the buyer's market, this is the time to buy. This is all coming into play right now. Of course, this is a buyer's market. This is the time we need to buy. So for me, I'm going to switch things around a little bit, because now it's not, the hash ribbon is not important if we start flipping time, right? So if we go to the 3-day, for example, it's not the best signal. You cannot use that, because the hash ribbon uses the 30-day moving average and the 60-day moving average. Whenever we are below the 60-day moving average, we are bearish. Whenever we are above the 60-day moving average, we are bullish. And right now you can see we are definitely above the 60-day moving average on the daily, right? So this is the daily, and this is where we got that signal coming in for us, right? You can see this. So absolutely bullish right now. I've been super bullish already, and I mentioned something on Discord. I said, look, it's not a coincidence that I'm super bullish, and the reason I'm saying it's not is because you have to go to the weekly. Forget all of this doesn't matter on the weekly, right? On the weekly, when I start seeing certain things, right, especially this, and I've talked about this many times, I'm looking at lower lows, right? So when I'm looking at higher lows, so when I'm seeing an indication showing me this particular pattern here, this direction here, is absolutely fine. So for us to start becoming bearish, we would have to come somewhere along this level here in order for us to be bearish, right? And again, the opportunities are there. There's nothing telling us that we cannot go there, because when we start looking at these higher time frames, you can see that we're still below that 21 moving average, right? The 21 week moving average, we are still below this. So that means anything is still possible, right? You know, when we start looking at different time frames, for example, the 5-day, you can see we're still below this. When you look at the 3-day, all right, you can see that we tested it, we failed, we came down absolutely fine. Now we might be on the way back up again. We just got to double check. So remember, the shorter time frames are great for short term. On the hash ribbon, I will accept it. On the shorter time frame, there is no other option for me to you know, change anything around, because that's the indicator. The indicator was designed for the 30-day and the 60-day moving average, right? So it's based on that. So for that reason, there is no other option but for you to use this, right? However, obviously, as I said, when you look at other data points, they do tell me that yes, this is the buyer's market. Yes, this is the time we should be buying. We should be ready to go, do whatever we need to do. But, and there's a big but, right? When you start looking at the stochastic RSI and the RSI itself, right? So you can see the RSI is still below our 40. This means these are buying zones, right? This whole blue area, this blue box here, whenever we are in this zone, this is a buying zone, right? So this is when we need to buy. So this is in a good buying zone. If it comes down here, it's fine. It's not an issue. Sorry, down here, it's fine. But as long as we're inside this blue zone, this is what we're looking for. However, stochastic RSI daily. So remember, this is more on a regular thing. This is the current sentiment. So this is showing you what the structure of the market is, and this is showing you what the current sentiment is, right? So on the current sentiment, what you see is we are showing that this particular blue, you can see here, wants to pop down a little bit. So showing the leading line is trying to lead down again. It doesn't mean that it will happily you know, lead, or it will definitely lead. It might not, right? So it might even flip from here and start moving back up again. But we can see some indications here showing us that it wants to lead down, which is fine, right? If it does lead down, okay. But this is what we're following, and this is telling us this is the zone we need to be buying in. So again, this is what we saw on the weekly. So we are going to be a bit cautious, just going to stand back on the line. Remember one thing, there's a fact, right? So even with the what do you call this particular indicator, regardless, it tells us that we can buy right now, right? So it's telling us that yes, you should be buying right now, and yes, we should be, based on this stochastic, sorry, on the RSI, yes, it's telling us we should be buying. We're in a buyer's market, right? But this buy signal can last easily and go drag this way and still be a buy signal, absolutely fine. It's not an issue, and the market could easily go down. But the, what do you call this, the miners, they can be going up, so they can be switching their machines off while the market itself keeps on going down. So it doesn't matter, right? So we can have another week or two of a downtrend, and this signal is strong and it's going up because more and more miners are switching on, right? So miners switching on, that's all we're seeing here. Miners are bullish right now. When miners are bullish, so should we be. That's the whole indication here. So don't confuse yourself when you see this going up and the market going down, all right? Because miners are just switching their machines on. That's the most important fact here. So I hope this kind of makes sense. This is what I just wanted to show you, that yes, it's a very underrated indicator. A lot of people don't even think about it. A lot of people don't even use it. And, you know, I myself, for one, I don't really use it as much. And as I said, the reason is it's not something you got to look at every single day, right? You know, you wait for that signal. When the buy signal's in, it's a buy signal. When it's not, right? So what's the point you're looking at every day? You're not going to get a signal every single day, right? And remember, the only time frame you can look at that hash ribbon is on the daily. So, you know, yeah, on the daily, looking good. I'm not concerned. Looks positive. Looks like we're coming back to test it. On the 3-day, do look good. Absolutely looking good. And you can see we've come exactly to that, what do you call this? The resistance zone that we have here at that 21,441. Again, we're below that 21 moving. So we're going to be a little bit concerned, right? We fell below that 21 blue line. We are going to be concerned. You know, looking at a higher time frame, 5-day, we are definitely below. And if you look carefully, you can see this is a bearish candle. It's a low. right? So we've just got a lower low on this particular time frame, this particular zone here. We've got a lower low. We're trending down. So again, just be cautious. Even though we can say all of this and say yes, the absolute trend is up, and we could easily come back down here and bounce again, no problem at all, right? So just be cautious. That's all I'm saying, nothing else. I'm just being cautious, but I'm not changing my buy orders or anything like this. For me to change my buy orders from where they are set already, if I see this flip, right? So for example, if I see this blue line, all of a sudden this blue line here comes and flips here and goes above this purple line, that's when I want to be bullish, right? That's what I'm looking for. So again, I'm looking at that 35k level. One second, that 35k level, I don't know if you can see this, right? This particular zone here, that has become my kind of indicator to tell me that we're in a bull market, because all of this could be a dead cat bounce, right? So for me, I just want to be cautious. I don't want to jump into anything. But the truth is, yes, the hash ribbon is showing us a super bullish indicator. I am super bullish because I have this feeling that, yes, we might last for another 6 months. We might last for another year. It doesn't matter. You know, based on the analytics we did last year, based on all the data that we had, right? We talked about how the month of September, we are going to start becoming bullish. Right, we talked about this on another video on the 3 scenarios. We said how if we fail in March, then we could start going down and it could last for 6 months, right? So we did last for 6 months. We've come to September. The month of September, we should start seeing indications of it going up. However, the fact is yes, we started seeing indications of the market wanting to move back up since this particular zone here, right? So this was around July or June or July, right? We started seeing the indication. So September's not far. Again, I may be off, but the point is we are seeing these bullish signals come in just before September. You know what? I'll take that, right? Because end of the day, that was close enough based on the analysis that we did, based on the previous history that we used, right? Because remember, the future, the candle didn't print, it wasn't printed. So we were doing some sort of a prediction, not even a prediction, I don't like to call it, but that's what we were doing. So here we are today, and everything's looking good. And this would be that opportunity. This would be that scenario where in like 2015, we'll be shouting and screaming, buy, buy, buy. In 2018, when we hit these zones, we said, buy, buy, buy. In 2019, we said, buy, buy, buy. This is that kind of a scenario, all right? Whether the market's going to go up and go to 100K, 200K, that's a different story. But this is that moment where you buy, where you're not going to come back to again. You know, when we talked about, for example, 2015, we said, look, buy. It's sitting at a couple of $100, right? Or, you know, even going up to $1,000, buy. People didn't buy. We went all the way up to 17K. We came back down again. In 18, we went to about 3.5K, and we said, buy. People didn't buy, right? So what happened? We went up. That we went to about I think about 10K, and then we came back down again, but we never went back to the previous price. And these are that moments that you have to capture. Of course, this is not a financial advice, so you do you, I do me, but ultimately this is those moments that you have to understand that you're only given, like, you know, in BTC's cycle, in BTC's last 13-14 year, almost 14 year cycle, these are opportunities that have come only once in a while, every few years, and it's those opportunities that we will never come back to. These prices we will never come back to. So that's what I'm going to say, and I'm just going to leave it here. But I mentioned this on another video as well. We will start moving up, but we're going to be on a very slow grind, and expect to be holding BTC longer than everybody else, right? Because we're buying technically the market bottom. This is going to be officially the market bottom zone in the future. You'll notice this. People are going to talk about this in the future. I'm going to say that was the market bottom, and this is definitely going to be the market bottom for us, basically. So I'm super bullish. Let's see where we go. But remember, just keep in mind that we could easily drop down, have another candle down, or end this and that. It's okay, right? If it does, it's okay. It's not a harm at all, right? But I'm happy to see how we're building structure, how we're building you know, a zone, how we've got a almost, I would say, this particular area here filling up as a strong support zone. I'm very happy with this this $20,000 level, because that gives confidence based on, remember, the previous 2017 high we had. So that's keeping us above this white line. As long as we can stay above this white line, we are absolutely super good. So yeah, this is good. This is giving us signs that market may not collapse all the way down. I say may, just take it with a pinch of salt, because it could, and there's nothing stopping it from going down a little bit, because if the whales out there, the manipulators, decide to dump a little bit on the on chain and dump the market a little bit, then yeah, the market's going to go down. But those are the moments you grab your opportunity, because that opportunity is not going to come back anymore. Okay, just remember this. Also, this 29,900 thing, this white line here is a very, very important white line from where we are right now. Okay, from where we are right now, because this white line is going to be for us, basically, put it this way, this white line is in between these two zones here. So this is the middle point. This is the line that we want to go and test. This is the line that we want to go above, and then we shoot up, right? So take everything with a pinch of salt. And hash ribbons, oh, it's an awesome indicator, but as I mentioned, it's only a once in a while indicator. It's not something you're going to follow every single day. But we've got the buy signal on the daily, and that's what really matters. Sorry, give me a second there. That's what really matters. That signal has come in, and as I said, even if the market is, if the hash ribbon is going up, but the market could easily go down, it doesn't mean anything. Remember this, these are just buying zones, so buy as much as you can. Other than that, peace and love. Thank you very much. Here we go. Big smiley face for you. Adios, my amigos.